goals. I think that's great. I'm going to ask you a quick follow-up though, just because you brought it up and throughout your answer. But can you explain for those in our audience today the difference between what Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3 emissions are? Because not everybody will have that same understanding of what we're talking about when we refer to Scope 1, 2, and 3.
Of course. So typically when we're looking at a carbon footprint, we have scopes 1, 2, and 3. Scope 1 are emissions that result from direct operations. For the University of Arizona, that is things like our natural gas turbines. We're directly responsible for those, for the emissions that result from their operation, our campus fleet, so the cars we operate on campus, other small things, but our boiler use for wintertime heating, those sorts of things. Scope 2 emissions are, like I mentioned, the emissions that result from purchased utilities. So for our main campus here in Tucson, that is entirely the electricity that we were purchasing from Tucson Electric Power. But up in Phoenix, we work with a private third party who provides chilled water as part of our cooling needs. So there are emissions associated with those utilities as well. And then Scope 3 is sort of the catch-all everything else. And those are emissions from waste, emissions from flights. So the University of Arizona is a leading research institution, and we have faculty, staff, students who go all over the world. And because they are our community, we are responsible for the emissions associated with that travel and, commuting to and from our campuses, those sorts of things.